Hi, how are you? Okay, so after spending, I guess like probably a good month and a half of just being on stream watching other YouTuber producers say, oh, tutorials are dead, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to teach no more. I decided to make my own tutorials. So I'm, I guess I'm gonna go over like something that I found pretty cool that I learned how to do probably like way back in the day when I first got my MPC. Way back in the day for me is like probably like 3 years ago or something. You seen the title? Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little cook up of me using FL Studio and my MPC Live 2 as a MIDI controller. Yeah, essentially it's pretty easy for the most part. So what you're gonna want to do, first of all, we got FL Studio booted up, right? That's good. That's step one. Boot up FL Studio, whatever. Cool. After you got FL Studio booted up, you're gonna go to your MPC. You see the B cam, right? You see it? It's nice, right? It's nice, ain't it? But anyway, you open up a new project, hit menu, top right corner, right next to the battery icon. There's this controller mode icon. You hit controller mode, and then it should show up this pink screen. That's where you need to be. Another thing you have to make sure you do is like that weird little USB cable that came with the MPC should be plugged into your computer and your MPC and the work. That's pretty much all you need for that step. So then eventually you're just gonna go over to back to your Florida studio. You should be getting like MIDI signal. So if you look at the top left corner of my screen, it's actually playing notes. Hold on, let me give you a second camera. So check this out. It's playing notes. Don't mind the sounds. I'm gonna show y'all how you get those. So there's two ways to do it essentially. So so first way you do it is, so I have this VST called Addictive Drums, and this is the harder one, but I kind of like this one. This is like my default. If I open it up, I already have like this kit saved and like stuff like that. So it would just be probably like something from here or whatever, or something like that. I think I touched it up a little bit. But you're gonna go to these lines, this menu, and you're gonna go to MIDI mapping. You're gonna find the instruments you're playing. So for example, kick, you would hit learn, and then you would tap the note that you want kick to be on, and then you could just go down the line with snare, hats, and then rim, whatever, another snare, toms, cymbals. Yeah, you would literally just go down the line with that, and it's pretty simple. And then you would save it, set it as a default, whatever. That's pretty much all you have to do with that. So you're usually in this menu right here. You hit this little cogwheel, right? Open that. You go here. Open that. Boom. Processing. You go here. Auto map outputs. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 blah. You literally, this is so you can make it separate on the mixer track. So, I have it like this, kicks 1, snare 2, blah, 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 blah. And basically how that looks on here, or on the mixer, talking about some here, is it's literally, look, hit the kick drum. Let me move my fat head out the way. You hit the kick drum real quick. Snare, hat, more hats, more snares. Rim shot is also in the snare channel. Toms. and your overheads. That's pretty much how you would link that with that. There's also another way, a much easier way, especially if you don't have Addictive Drums, and that's just using FPC. You would open that up, and then you would go to your presets, then you would hit empty, then you would just click a pad, go down to your search bar, search for a sample, for example, kick, and we'll just use this one. Drag it in. And then you can also get like some round robin action going on. So we're just gonna be dramatic. We'll just put another one here, and then we'll hit spread even. Boom. Yeah. And then yeah, you would just kind of run down the line, snare, and then see if they all work. If you, let me switch this cam. If you notice, I'm pressing pad 4, but it's not registering it, right? The reason why that's not happening is because if you look here, it says MIDI note, F# 4. If you actually look in the top right or top left corner of the screen, pad 4 is by default A# 6. So what you want to do is you're going to hit MIDI note right here, and then you're going to go to A# 6, and then now it's working. Now to get these on separate tracks, pretty easy actually. You just go output and then just select whatever track you want them to be on. So 1, 2, 3, oops, and 4. I don't think there was a tutorial for this thing back when I learned it, but yeah, sounds stupid and bad, which is exactly why I'm not going to use this. It was like definitely one of the sample choices of all time. So yeah, we're not using those one shots. We're just going to use Addictive Drums for this. And yeah, that was pretty much to learn that side of things. Now we're going to cook up something. Check this out. We're just going to select a nice little drum kit. I also have these tracks pre-made in my preset. It's just bass, guitar, and keys. I don't have anything going on with them. I have to manually route them myself, but hey, let's go ahead and set this up. I like to turn the snap to grid thing to none. That's just my preference. I don't like the quantizing on Florida Studio. I'm gonna dial in my tempo. We're gonna keep it nice and easy. We're gonna make it 93 BPM. Check this out. All right, look what we got. Oops, look what we got. Easy. We got ourselves a fun little track, and we can just build off of it. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna have we'll do Analog Lab. Analog Lab has yet to do me wrong, so, or I mean, I'm sure it's done me wrong sometimes, but like not enough. Also another thing I'm doing is I'm just playing the notes on the pads here. It's just to see how they sound, you know. All right, let's run it. That's all I need. I just had to tweak it a little bit. Since we're playing in F, I just moved over this B to the C right quick. So yeah, we might actually change that sound, to be honest. I don't like it. It's not growing on me. There it is. Chill on this verb though. What else can we add? I think so. We got some kind of pad going on, but what if we added like keys, maybe? Like more keys? I don't know. Okay, real quick, let me show y'all something. So, what I'm gonna do before I play the keys is I'm gonna select the track that I have picked out for keys, and I'm just gonna find the inputs that I have for those keys, like the mics that are plugged into them right now, and I'm just gonna select them. So that'll be input 15 and 16 on my mixer, and yeah, I'll just select those. Go back to my playlist, go to track 2 since that's the next one over, and then go to audio track under track mode, and then find keys, select that, and it's nice and up there. And boom, we're ready to go. Let's do it. All right. And then one more. If you could direct your attention at the screen, please. As you can see, we have some things. We're just gonna use that. Cool. I like that one. And I also like this one too as well. We're gonna call you number 2 and you number 1. All right. We'll just get rid of those. I don't really care to keep them. Another thing we're gonna do is we're gonna right click pattern 1, which we've recorded pretty much everything else in so far. We're gonna go to split by channel, and that'll just separate Addictive Drums and Analog Labs, my bad. You know, some uniformity, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to, then we're just gonna map this out, you know what I'm saying? Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to hit Alt T on certain parts of the song that I wanna section out. So the first one will be intro. This one will be, I guess, verse 1. We'll just call it V1. This will be our chorus. Yeah, that'll be our chorus. This will be V2, verse 2. This is such a throwaway beat. I think it's a throwaway beat. I don't know what it is, man. Look, bro, check this out. Yeah, we're just gonna section it out a little bit, you know. And you know what else we're gonna do? We're gonna track some bass. We're gonna track some bass. It's gonna be cool, man. Bass tracking. So we rocking out with the the X5 wireless guitar transmitters and receivers and all that stuff, simply because I don't feel like dealing with cables right now. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to select our bass, which would be channel 11 in this case. We're gonna go to channel 11 and then find input 9 and 10, because on my mixer, that's where I have my head rush effects pedal thing linked to. That's where it's plugged in, you know what I'm saying? And now it's there. You hear that? Another thing I'm gonna do, since it's like double sound right now, so I'm gonna turn off monitoring external input. Now that way, whatever. This is a quick hookup. I don't really care about warming up or any of that stuff. I will make sure I'm like at least close to tuned, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we take a look at this beat and say, what else could it need, you know? Ear candy, something, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. If you look at this bass track. Oh, is it not doing it this time? Usually my channels lean to the right too much. So what I'll do is I'll literally just take this and modify it. I'll turn the stereo separation 100% merged in the middle. But that's what I'll do. I don't think we need a click track anymore. It's gonna get annoying. So now that we've done all that fun stuff, we pretty much got bones down. I think I'm gonna this is gonna be a pretty easy one. I'm just gonna add essentially just ear candy and like transition effects, and we're gonna call it a beat, man. Like I'm not even saving this joint, so it is what it is. So apparently my samples freaking disappeared, so I'm gonna have to make my own crashes, my own splashes. So yeah, I'll just drag in a crash, freaking reverse it, change the start. Oops, not that one. Is it this one? No, it's length. Change the length of it. That way we're like right here or something. Then we're gonna change the pitch. We're gonna pitch it down just a little bit. Cool. Turn that down. Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna put that right there. Put it right there. You know, just a little something. We're gonna take this little hit right here. We're gonna put it here. right where the drums are supposed to start on verse 1. So check this out. It should go like, but we got to change the length of it, so we're gonna shorten that a little bit. We're gonna make this sound real, like it's like we in space or something. Next thing we need is like so this sound right here, I like what it has, you know. I like there's a section of it. There's a little section that I want. We're gonna take that and we're gonna just drown it in reverb. Double click. I'm gonna assign you to a nice little track. Name insert 14 FX1. And we're gonna make a reverb track. If you click on the scroll wheel, that automatically lets you go to the naming section of the track or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna add some of this type of reverb. Nothing crazy. Send it over. Cool. Boom. Wet solos on. We're gonna have a low cut. Put that decay time there. And should be. But we gotta turn it down like a lot. Then we need, while we're at it, let's make another track for our transition effects. Oops, if you push F2, that'll automatically give you a random color while you're in the naming section. And we're just gonna move you over there. And we're also gonna move you over there. Just gonna add one more over there. Actually, not one more. We're also gonna have one at the end. And also another thing I want is a delay send. So we're gonna use for that one, I forgot what it's called. Tape Echo, Galaxy Tape Echo. How did I forget what that's called? That thing is like legendary, but whatever. So I'm gonna take you, transition effects. Gonna dial that in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And for this little doink right here, I actually want to add some love filter to it. So yeah, in case you haven't or noticed, I'm pretty much living in the mixer menu almost. Just like doing a little bit of sound design, stuff like that. Cool effect I want to add to the keys is I want to add this plugin called Skew V2. I think it's free. Basically what I'm gonna do is like, it's just gonna be like its little reverser thing. I want it specifically towards the end. It's gonna sound like that. But yeah, we'll add an automation track there. I hate how FL Studio does that, where like my automation track is like just for that specific section. It's like, no, I want it throughout the whole thing, man. And we're gonna mess with these drums a little bit. So this is what they sound like on their own. Let's turn that snare down a little. Overall, I kind of like it. We could add like some New York to it though, you know. Here we go. Essentially what I mean by New York is it's a style of parallel compression where you just smash or parallel processing where you just smash the hell out of it on the compressor, just make it hit really hard, and then you also bring up the highs and the lows on the EQ, and then you mix it parallelly. Like you adjust the mix level to it, and it makes it hit a little harder, you know what I'm saying? But not too hard. We'll just turn this a little down, just a little bit. Last thing I'm gonna add before I slap a tag on it and call it cool is a fade out. I am so sick of this thing doing that. I gotta figure out how to fix that. If you guys know how to make it so whenever you make an automation track, it doesn't freaking just go to one side of like the track and like instead of like the whole thing. If you know what I mean, could you like let me know in the comments, because that shit's annoying. It didn't always do that for me too. It was like it just became a new thing, you know? Here, fun fact, if you hold shift when creating or when drawing in automation stuff, it keeps the height the exact same, and it just messes with the x-axis of things. Okay, if you ever want to know how to put a tag on, you just make a tag and then you stretch it to the beat. Fun tutorial tip, huh? We got ourselves a fun little beat. Gonna do some mastering, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, man. Like we got it done. Not really a tutorial, it's kind of just like I was doing stuff and kind of explaining my process a little more instead of just kind of saying yeah, I'm gonna add this, blah blah blah. I was kind of saying this is how I'm gonna do this, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little better at that, you know. I feel like people they love the educational stuff, you know. You gotta spread the gems sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. So I guess subscribe, like, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitch. I stream every weekend. Stream The Expected by Dreadhead Red. I got more music coming out soon, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Appreciate it.